Boxing voice.
Growing up, you know, I hung around with all the older dudes, so they were like selling dope. There wasn't a lot of gang banging where I was from. You know, I have a lot of family and friends on the mission, and that's where more the banging was at. But like where I was at, it was more dope dealing and pimping and just hustling type stuff. So I was always pretty hot-headed, man, and I was like street fighting all the time. And then I ended up sitting down for a couple months. You know, I caught a dope charge, and as I was doing that, that's when I began boxing. And then, like, you know, that quick little sit down I did at county, like, kind of like put my life into perspective. And I was at that point where it was like, I'm either going to do this dope dealing 100% or I'm going to do this boxing 100%, because you can't do anything half-assed. So I was like, fuck that, I'm going to stick to this boxing. And, you know, thank God it changed my life from where we're at now. I think I had about 25 to 30 fights. The thing with Eddie, like, he had me fighting every weekend. Because when you got to have at least 10 fights in order to fight open in the tournaments. So after my first fight, we got those 10 fights out the way. Then I was fighting guys, as soon as I became open, I was fighting guys with like 80, 90 fights, and I had 11 fights. My first year boxing, I fought an open in the Golden Gloves. I won that. I won that, the regional, and I made it to the state. I lost the state. And the next year I did the same thing, and that's when I caught that case. So I couldn't, you know, move forward. But I mean, I definitely learned. I definitely learned in the amateurs. But I knew starting as an amateur, I wasn't going to be in the amateurs for a long time. You know, I don't like that pity pat stuff.
He only got a couple years in boxing, and he got what, like 4 or 5 years in boxing, and look how much he's accomplished. Some people start when they're 12, 13 years old, and they can't even make it in the pros. You know, and for Rick to be only in boxing for 4 or 5 years and have a record, you know, just 1 loss, that says a lot. So that just speaks on the future of what he can actually do. He hasn't I don't think he's even developed half the way that he can really develop.
I mean, everything we do over there at B Street, all the things that Eddie shows me, I basically take that and I apply it here with the mitts, with the you know, the twist that Jairo has. You know, we've been working with each other for I think 4 or 5 fights now, so he sees some of the habits that I have. He sees the good things and the things I need to work on. So there'll be days where we just work on turns, pivots. There'll be other days where we work on head movement, defense. So it all goes together, man. Like, you know, with this boxing stuff, you got to have a network and a network of support, and that's what we got here. Like Eddie and Jairo work together, and then whatever we got going over there, I apply it to what I'm doing at Weights of Valor with my boy Victor. So it's not like I'm doing shit that's on this side of the spectrum and that shit that's on this side of the spectrum. You know, everything comes together. So that's the beauty of it. When everything works good, you got to have that chemistry, and that's what we got going right here. This Team Pinell shit, man.
You know, I think like before, because I do a lot of head movement work, a lot of catching, blocking, flipping, rolling. So I've seen that in a couple fights, especially in the last couple ones. I've seen him slipping a little bit more. You know, it's still improvement in different areas that we can do, but the biggest improvement I've seen so far has been his defense.
It's definitely hard work. I swear to you, every time I have a fight, it's always finals week. So it's not like, you know, a regular fighter that, you know, they're training, go home and rest. Like, I train, do my runs, and then I got to go home and write 4 or 5, 6-page papers, study. So I'm not sleeping till like 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Then I got to wake up a couple hours and come meet Jairo here at 7:30 in the morning to get this working. So it's a dedication, man, you know. Speaking of that, I just got my grades, man. I got like a 3.0 for this semester, so that's my first time since the 7th grade in middle school, man. So, you know, it's definitely hard work, but it's a blessing, man. Boy, man, born and raised, this is my home, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't come out, it's just disrespect. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I came up, just like Jairo can tell you, like, he came up struggling out here in these streets, and it's just, you know, turn something negative into something positive, and now you got an opportunity to showcase that in the ring in front of my hometown. So, shit, why not come out and support? We just finished up our mid session over here at World Class with the mid-master Coach Jairo, man. And I just want to let people know, the shit you see on TV, Roger Mayweather doing, that's not Jairo shit, man. Jairo does his own shit, man. He's his own mid-master, you know what I'm saying? He does all kinds of shit. So if you think, you know, it looks nice and that motherfucker only knows the Mayweather style, you got it confused, man. So just respect my man's craft.
Oh yeah, thank you.
The Boxing Voice.